I was saying we're doing this PFF all-time Browns, or not all-time, Browns team in the last 20 years. And I was mentioning to the guys that there was one player on this Browns team that I'd never heard of. He was a nose tackle by the name of Ethan Kelly, and he played for the Browns in 2007, 2008. I thought, okay, maybe these guys have heard of him.
Nope.
Even these guys who have lived their whole lives in Cleveland never heard of him. Turns out he only played like 9 games for the Browns.
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years.
Jason Lloyd pulled out the Palm Pilot. Like, who's this guy?
He was Ted Washington's backup.
I say,
part of that time. I don't know how he made the team. The rest of the team is guys we know and mostly know well. But
so
go ahead.
we're going to run through the offense, the defense, then I'll ask you guys the questions. This was PFF, which started in 2006 through the 2025 season. Their highest graded players for the Browns during that stretch at each position. And this is the offense. Baker Mayfield's your quarterback. Nick Chubb, your running back. Your 3 receivers, Amari Cooper, Josh Gordon, and Jarvis Landry. 2 tight ends, Njoku and Gary Barnidge. And an offensive line. Barnidge. Excuse me.
Barnidge.
You added an R. You added a second R.
I did. And I like Gary, too. He's a good dude. I've met him a couple times. And an offensive line consisting of Joe Thomas, Joel Bitonio, Alex Mack, Wyatt Teller, and Mitchell Schwartz.
They let Mitchell Schwartz walk. I can't believe it.
It's a really good offensive line, by the way.
That's pretty
good.
good.
That's pretty good. Now, are we taking like Josh Gordon's one great year or the totality of Josh Gordon?
Nah, we
like Gary Barnidge's one great year.
Gary Barnidge had one great year.
Hey, when you're the Browns and we
the
don't
difference is Josh Gordon, great talent. Gary Barnidge was just
we ain't got enough to be picking and choosing. We're gonna take the best.
It's a good offense.
The highest of the high.
Pick them at their peak.
The best version.
That's a good offense.
That's a good offense.
It's not an elite offense, but it's a good offense. Now let's face it, they had Baker, Chubb,
Bitonio, Teller. Was Bitonio on? Bitonio.
Yeah, Bitonio.
There was only Teller came in, I think, the year after Odell left.
Teller was here in
he was in all them years.
Teller was here quite a while.
Yeah,
Teller was here longer than I think.
But I don't think Teller came in 18.
Nah.
Or not. I don't know. Somebody was missing when
Mitchell Schwartz.
Josh Gordon might have been gone when Teller.
Josh Gordon. Yeah, right. Okay. So like Chubb.
They had a lot of that offense together. Yeah.
Chubb, Landry, Teller, Bitonio, Baker, they all played together, and those are most of the top players.
But if you was gonna go peak, I would argue that if you said for 1 year you could give me Braylon Edwards for 1 year, the 1 year he had 20 touchdowns or something, I might.
What year was that?
07.
07.
Yeah.
He had 7.
It fits.
It does fit.
You know what I'm saying? 17. I think he had
over who?
Well, listen, the year
Gary Barnidge.
Listen.
Well, but
you'd have to replace either Cooper, Josh Gordon, or Jarvis Landry.
Why? I'm not replacing him.
Why?
Well, they were doing 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends.
You
don't need 2 tight ends.
Why would I get touched? See, this is how they
let's face it, even David Njoku is your best tight end. It's
kind of why it worked.
All right, so that's the offense.
Yeah.
Let's look at the defense, and then we'll figure out how competitive this all-time Browns team would be. The defense.
Again, Ethan Kelly, I don't know. Danny Shelton stunk. I don't understand.
He was awful.
See, this is disqualifying. Whoever put this out is
so the
nasty
team,
work.
for our podcast listeners who can't see the graphic, you have Reuben and Shelton as your interior defensive tackles.
No, something like that. Say Reuben's first name.
A topic.
With Ethan Kelly at nose tackle, you have Myles Garrett and Jabal Sheard. Yeah, Sheard. I'm just kidding. You got JOK at linebacker. Our guy DeQuell at the other linebacker spot.
Only 2 linebackers.
Yeah,
Joe
you
Hayden,
can't afford
Denzel
receiver.
Ward.
They got 2 linebackers up there.
Mike Adams in the slot, TJ Ward and Brodney Poole at your safety position.
I don't remember how good. I remember Brodney Poole by name. He was before I came here, so I don't remember him that well.
He was solid.
The secondary's obviously good. 2 very good linebackers. But Danny Shelton, he was terrible here.
The Danny Shelton move is nasty work. He was a bust at all. Listen, they drafted him in the mid rounds, and then they drafted a center, Cam Irving, a center. Cam Irving was garbage, and they got him up out of here. And then they had the nerve to show up the next day. Yeah, we solidified ourselves up the middle. No, you didn't.
Again, good defense, but it doesn't blow me away. I mean, I love the 2 linebackers. Obviously, Hayden and Ward, a great combination. The safety, they're fine, but not. I mean, it's not special or anything. TJ Ward
is Jabal Sheard really the second best edge rusher that the Browns have had?
Absolutely
recently?
not.
I mean, I get it's all based off PFF grades,
Sheard
but
was
he
solid.
was okay. He was solid, but I mean, there's got to be someone better.
Hey, I would put Grant Delpit over Brodney Poole.
Yeah, of course. Grant Delpit is better
Yeah,
than him.
probably.
Unless they're saying T.J. Ward and Grant Delpit are both inbox safeties. And
Yeah,
then
but
that's why.
Yeah, maybe, but
And no
I don't know,
justice
I mean,
for
that's-
Ted Washington.
yeah.
At nose tackle.
Man,
Ted
listen,
Washington. Right. That was a weird one.
So G, you know what, Chris, you're joining us.
Yeah.
If you put this all-time PFF Browns team in the NFL today, so you replace the current 2026
Last
Browns,
20 years, not all-time NFL.
all-time PFF.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
If you replace this 2026 Browns team with the all-time PFF Browns team from 2006 to 2025, how competitive are they? Are they Super Bowl contenders / a team that can win the Super Bowl? AFC North Division winners? A wild card team? Or are they missing the playoffs? How do you see this playing out?
can I see that? Go.
I think they're Super Bowl contenders because this is a really, really good team. If you're getting the guys at their peak, that offensive line is really, really good. Baker at his peak with the Browns, solid enough to play. You got great weapons all around. You got Chubb as that offense is really good, and the defense is good enough. Super Bowl teams don't have to be perfect. They have to be good enough. Barring injuries, I think this is a Super Bowl contender. Not saying that they win it, but I think they're a Super Bowl contender. I am a little worried, though, about that defensive interior line, though.
Yeah.
Because that's
Danny Shelton.
G, what say you?
Listen.
You agree with Chris? They're a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, yes, especially because I'm swapping half these people out.
No, but we're going by this list.
No, you got to use this team,
Man,
man. You have
my
to use
goodness,
this
this
PFF
is why
team.
we get screwed, man. All right, listen, I would go with I'll give you this. I would say they're Super Bowl contenders because if you go back, Chris, and you look at it, they was a one helmet hit away from with Hollywood Higgins from beating the Chiefs then.
Yeah.
And they didn't have none of these other dudes. So I agree. I like Jaquel Jackson a lot. I think the defense would be underrated. You still got Myles Garrett. You still got JOK, man. I would have loved to get JOK and Carson Schlesinger and Delpit in there. We would look a lot better. But I would say they would be contenders. Now, would they landslide win it? Absolutely not, because they can go up against some teams that got some stuff. But this is a really good team. This is probably one of the best offensive lines. Alex Mack, Joe Thomas, Bitonio, Teller, Schwartz. Come on now. And Chubb, prime Chubb?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we cooking. We might run the ball.
I don't even think it's the best defense in the division. I mean, offense.
What,
In the
Bengals?
division. Huh?
Bengals?
What the offense would you take? This or the Bengals' current offense?
Man, I'm taking this.
I'd take this.
You don't see prime Chubb?
The only obviously the Browns have a much better offensive line.
It's the best offensive line in the league.
and I'd rather have Chubb than
Chase Brown.
And you got Josh
the
Gordon.
Bengals are way better at wide receiver, not tight end.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
will disagree about
Whoa.
wide receiver. Jamar
Whoa.
Chase could probably start on this team. I don't see Higgins
Higgins,
in front of any of those guys.
100% he would.
Year for year?
I mean, Josh Gordon had 1 year.
Hey, we going peak. Now you got to give me a bone too. You got to throw me a bone. You said I couldn't add nobody. You got to give me peak Josh Gordon. You got to give me peak Josh Gordon. You
I
got to
think
pay
Josh
fair.
Gordon is better than T. Higgins. He's up there with Jamar Chase. If
Pete
not better
Josh
than Jamar
Gordon.
Chase.
That 1 year, Josh Gordon is with Chase. He's better than Higgins.
Are you saying?
But I think Higgins and Landry and Cooper are all about the same.
They are.
Yeah.
But you would peak Josh Gordon.
But again,
Hall of Famer,
That's Jerry Rice.
if healthy,
but bigger.
Burrow way better than Baker. Though.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'll give you Burrow over Baker.
But I would give you that. But
I don't think this team is a Super Bowl contender.
What?
I don't think they're a
Dang!
Super Bowl contender. I don't think Baker is a Super Bowl quarterback. I don't believe that.
You got arguably Jason Lloyd. You got arguably the greatest one-season wonder in Josh Gordon with Nick Chubb with the greatest offensive
How many games
line.
did they win with Josh Gordon having that great season? Not many.
But they got the run
They had
game
other
too.
issues.
They didn't win a lot of games with Nick Chubb. I don't blame him, but they did. They had that team basically,
No,
except you didn't have Josh Gordon.
bro.
The difference is their peaks didn't all line up.
They did.
So you had that team, but like Baker when he played with Gordon
Okay.
was a rookie.
All right,
and Gordon was suspended and basically out of the league.
But here's the thing. You brought up the year that they played the Chiefs.
Right.
Okay? They had most of that team. Obviously, they weren't as good at left tackle.
They didn't have Joe Thomas.
Right. At center and right tackle, they had good players. Maybe not quite as good as Alex Mack and Mitchell Schwartz, but their offensive line was really good that year.
Yes.
So I don't think there was a huge difference. There's certainly no difference at tight end, not a significant difference.
Okay.
They had Landry, right? They didn't have Cooper.
Amari Cooper had a great year.
But they had Odell. So, like, Odell at that point, while not as great as he was at his best, is equivalent to Cooper. So that team was basically the team, and they beat a fraudulent Steeler team that was collapsing. We all know this. Let's keep it real. And then they lost to the Chiefs, and you said it was close, which it was, but that's because Mahomes got hurt.
Hey, listen.
If Mahomes didn't get hurt, it probably would have been close.
All I'm saying is Joe Thomas is...
And they weren't, were we thinking of them as a legit Super Bowl contending team that year? We were not.
Joe Thomas...
Wait, G, real quick. I got a question. This is
Well,
important.
Jason didn't get a chance to answer.
I'm just enjoying this. Just continue.
No, Jason, this plays into this. James May sent a super chat, but it's good to this conversation.
Yeah.
Who's the coach? And does that matter?
If it's Freddie Kitchens, it matters.
No, it would be Kevin Stefanski.
It'd
Does he
probably be
highest
after
PFF
Stefanski.
grade? I mean, Kevin Stefanski, like him or not,
Hey,
he's
bro,
been their best coach in the last 20
you-
years, no?
Now you put me in a very compromising situation. You did that on purpose, dog. Jason, you know what, man?
I'd say we're.
Look at
I'm
you.
just
Look-
Jason, do you think
Hold
this
on.
is a Super Bowl contending team?
Hold on.
I wanna hear,
go ahead.
no,
Finish
I'm
your
not
thought.
letting G off this hook.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
You got to take Stefanski. Who are you taking?
Let him cook.
Chatinsky?
Nah, man. I'm going to give you this. I'll give you this. This just shows G is fair. I am fair and arbitrable. If you give me Kevin Stefanski with this roster, the Cleveland Browns are still absolutely a contender.
Oh, there it is.
Mark it down. Bush said
There
something
it
nice
is.
about Stefanski.
Hey, let me just let's
There
be
it is.
clear. Let's be clear. Now I will say, in my timeline, he gets COVID and wasn't on the sideline.
Jim Schwartz is the DC.
No, but I think they're still good because
Alex
you got Joe
Van Pelt,
Thomas,
the OC.
Nick Chubb prime, Joe Thomas prime, Josh Gordon prime is ridiculous. Baker Mayfield, rookie quarterback,
Yeah.
throwing for the record is crazy. Omari Cooper in the year he had with Joe Flacco, elite. Joe Flacco, David Njoku, elite. Just by that alone, and Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, this team by far is a championship caliber team. They can run, they can pass, they got a deep threat, they got one of the best slot receivers in Jarvis Landry. This team is loaded, this team is great, and they got Swag Baker.
I think they're a playoff team, but not a legit Super Bowl contender. Go ahead, Jason.
There you go, Jason. There you go.
I think they win a playoff game,
Yeah.
and therefore I think they're on the precipice of the AFC title game, and you can define contender however you want. Do I think they're going to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl with that team? No. Do I think that they're one of the better teams in the AFC? Yeah. And I would just leave it at that because you know how much I love hypotheticals.
But I'm saying though, but we talking peak Stefanski here.
Oh, he'll win a Super Bowl.
No, you got that. We talk about peak Stefanski. Like you can't, you look at these weapons.
Yeah.
These weapons
I
with
mean-
this offensive line. You think Kevin can't get that?
People have short memories and forget how good this offense was when they were healthy when he first got here. They were good. They were good
Yeah.
offensively.
That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
just don't think this offense is that much better than that 2018 offense, which was good, not amazing. And I think this offense would be good, not amazing.
So here's the reason why. This is why. Listen, guys, you got to learn how to listen. When you look at Kevin Stefanski, I think Kevin Stefanski's strength is he's not very creative. But if you got a strength like this, he's going to line up and just run the ball, bro. You're going to have tight ends out there. He's going to run. And think about how well that actually worked for a couple of years so everybody got old and tired. You run the ball with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. And when you
We don't got Kareem Hunt anymore. He's gone.
But we got prime Nick Chubb, 5.9
But he
yards
was
a
prime
carry.
in 2018.
No.
Yeah, he was.
We taking peak.
That was peak.
But listen, that 1,500.
Yeah.
Where that 1,500 Chubb at? The 1,500.
Wasn't that 2018?
But
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah. That's that. Man, this team right here is loaded, bro. With Josh Gordon,
Gee, let me ask you this.
you thought you had me, McNuggets. You did.
No, I didn't. That was a super chat from James Mace. I just read a
Are
super
you
chat.
break the tie, Mike? Do you think they're a Super Bowl contender? Or are you with Jason and I? Good team, playoff team?
I think they definitely a playoff team. I think they'd be the favorites in the division to win the AFC North. I think they're in that top 7-ish category, which if you want to define top 7 being a Super Bowl contender, then I guess
You
technically
get
Super
to
Bowl
define.
contender.
Stop hemming and hawing like Jason did and make an answer.
Who's
I don't
beating
think
them?
they can win a Super Bowl.
Who's beating them? Like
Well,
in the AFC, who's beating them?
That's what I
right
want to
now?
ask. G, I'm going to run through some teams. You tell me right now, would you take the all-time PFF Browns team or this current team?
By the way, this is sad that this is an all-time 20-year team. versus.
Oh no!
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna get my money off. I'm happy. We are contenders. I'm gonna take it either
Okay.
way. In the alternate universe with the Avengers, come
Go
on,
ahead.
let's go.
G. Bush, the Seattle Seahawks, the defending Super Bowl champions. Would you take the Seattle Seahawks in a one-game matchup versus the all-time PFF Cleveland Browns?
JSN who? I got Gordon, light bars. Give me Baker and them. Let's roll.
The Los Angeles Rams. Myles Garrett's on both teams for the record.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Donald though on the
He's
Rams?
not currently. Aaron Donald's not there, so he's
Yeah.
not
Okay.
involved.
We got a version of Myles Garrett on our team.
You guys, it's the same Myles clone.
So this is the Hulk. Good. It
Where
cancel
is
each other
By
out.
the way, where is this team
All-time pass
outside
rusher.
of offensive
All-time
line? Where
pass
is this
rusher.
team better than the? I'll say running back too.
Yeah.
Where is this team better than the Rams?
Hey, look, Rams got a little better
look to
receivers.
your right. Don't look at me.
Little better receivers, little better quarterback. Other than that, the Rams ain't better than the Browns. Give me the Browns. It's
Little
close.
better quarterback.
Little better quarterback.
Matthew Stafford versus Baker. Little better.
Remember, I'm going peak Baker.
Yeah. So am I.
I'm going.
It's
so,
not close.
I'm thinking.
By the way, Peak Baker has been with Tampa Bay. Not with
No.
Cleveland.
I'm thinking Pete Baker when he came back against your Bengals when he was 35 or 36 down the stretch. See, this is why I know the Browns. Come on, keep going. We cooking 2-0. Let's roll.
You're 0 for 2. Just
No.
because you say it doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah,
But
I would
listen,
take.
I
I would
gave-
take the Seahawks or the Rams.
The Seahawks. You got the Seahawks over these guys?
They just won the Super Bowl.
I don't care what they did. This is Pete Brown.
How many guys on that team have won anything?
Listen, today, if you line them up, they just lost their best running back too, didn't they not? They
Walker's
rolled
right,
to the championship. Okay. So you got him and JSN. Listen, this is easy. I'm cooking right
I got
now.
a quarterback I know won when it mattered.
Sam Darnold. You gonna take Sam
I don't love
Darnold?
Sam Darnold, but he won when it mattered.
Baker beat him when we was all young. We saw it. Baker got off on him. Baker did his thing. Let's go.
Baker don't win big games.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, Pete Baker, that's a win. What else you got? I thought you were gonna have
I
something
got
harder
0-2.
than this.
Jason's got 0-2.
I mean,
Chris, I don't know.
I'm not sure what you're cooking, but ain't nothing I'm eating.
Chris is listen. He's the silent auction guy.
If-
He knows. Chris got him 2-0 right now.
I think it's much more competitive than what you guys are saying. I
Yeah.
think absolutely that all-time Browns team could beat the Seahawks, very well could beat the Rams. Probably a little closer than we'd like to admit, but I think
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's why we brought you down here with the button up on. Talk to your peoples, man. Let's get them together. What's up, McNuggets?
We talked about this topic last week. I told you
Yeah.
I was going to hold it for the right panel, and I'm glad that Chris joined the panel.
right
This is
panel.
the perfect panel for this.
Man, this is crazy. This is
All
that Browns team, by the way, put it in the chat, man. That Browns team got one of the best receivers you've seen, one of the best tackles you've ever seen, one of the best running backs you've ever seen, one of the best pass rushers you've ever seen. How many more best evers do you
So,
need to
G-
see to beat the Seahawks?
See, because we're a good producing unit back here, we added this in the chat since we started this topic. The question was, how good would PFF's all-time Browns team be in 2026 NFL? Your four options were Super Bowl contenders,
Okay.
AFC division winners, playoff team, or miss the playoffs. This is how the voting broke down. Super Bowl contenders, the highest at 31%.
what a shocker.
31% said that
But
would
only
be a Super Bowl
31%,
contender.
that's low.
AFC division winner, but not Super Bowl contender, the lowest at 19%.
And I think that's where Jason and I are.
A simple wild card playoff team, second most, 26%, and 23% said this team's missing the playoffs, which I think is just the
That's-
haters.
I don't
The
agree.
haters.
Yeah, no.
Sheesh.
I don't agree with that.
So wild card means you couldn't even win the division. So half of the chat, which is almost always wrong,
yeah.
thinks that they're not even the best team in the division.
That's
yeah, I'm not
crazy.
sure. I'm not convinced they are either.
I think they win the division.
I think they would be a contender for the division. I think they
win-
might win the
they
division.
win
I don't
the
think it's a sure thing.
I think they win the division.